By the guests, advertisers, news bulletins, call-in listeners or chatters are solely the views and opinions of the source who express them. They do not necessarily reflect the opinions and the views of Trustco Group International, the broadcast regulators in Namibia, or that of the Informanté Radio station.
This is Informanté Radio, the sound for a new age. Every day we bring you the hottest music mix.
Hey, let me tell you something. The whole pussy belongs to us.
They call him Mr. Well Done. Boozy, pretty thing and you bougie.
And some outrageous conversations.
You don't even have to go too far. I mean, even today, we have something called traditional healers within all our communities.
Is that like the new name for witch doctors?
No. That's what the white men made it.
You do know that the traditional healers can see us talking about them right now. Right now. In their big bowl of water.
The morning mix on Informanté Radio. The sound for a new age.
Para chana kweli Onda varero mongunda Uya wiwa no derera No gateta No gateta No gateta Teta kwa teri Muke pui hayasho La kento la kali Chibwibwili So tapindo taman Ongita todun Amos kopindo shaman Goti sera tainika Esperita agape, o atare la marume, tata budito tul, tata budito tul. Ita tulu.
I need
Moro Moro, welcome to the Morning Mix on Informanté Radio. Once again, it is a beautiful Friday, 22 minutes past 8. Tate Buti, the Gaza, and the dog. And they are saying Ito Dulu. Good morning, colleagues.
Good morning.
How are you, colleagues?
we are fine, colleague. How are you?
What's going on with you, Maria?
What's going on with the feeling?
I was looking at this real.
He's being recruited by those pro legalization of the weed group.
No, but these are not weed colors. Wait, why are we talking about weed?
No, it's the style.
Sorry, Maria. You say legalization of weed.
Yeah.
Now that you're saying it, it really looks like it.
Hallo, los my net uit asseblief.
Is there just someone who can just help me to fix this thing in my life, to get it over and done with? I'm not referring to anybody in particular here, but if there's somebody who can just invite me to smoke a blunt so I can get it out of my way for life and I'll get it over and done with. So, you know, if there's somebody out there who can assist me, because I said there are two things that I missed in my life. It's smoking a blunt and having a threesome. I say again, the other one I can't do anymore because I'm too old. So let me at least. Ek praat nie saam met Johnny Maria. Bly een kan. So if there's some invite me to smoke a blunt somewhere, please.
I think I just joined the group.
I'll give you Boros' number.
Julle praat net na oor legal goed hierso. Net na. Like it's nothing.
The level is very unruly. Very
Joke.
Yeah. Morning, guys. Welcome to the show. I see a bunch of you joining the live stream already. You can share and you know, collect even more people, so we can have ourselves a wonderful hour 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Here on Informanté Radio. So,
Moro.
hoe lyk die Vrydagoggend?
Hey.
Maria, like you guys, your lives seem to be so busy these days. It's like it's a photo shoot, it's a video shoot, it's a hunting trip. So what was up last night?
J-Mac Zak, Maria. Huh? Not even, huh?
Yeah.
But you're busy. Every night you like, we can't get hold of you. You're just gone. You're talking to me about
sorry, Sam,
if I'm busy on my phone, it's a groot story.
No, this is an urgent.
So what I do is
text
Is that Shaq?
So sorry. All right, continue, please.
Why are you guys not wearing headphones?
Do we sound funny?
No, you don't sound funny. You miss some of my quirky remarks. Lost it.
yeah, more.
Let's just leave.
More.
It's a Friday. Let's run through some of the stories that are sort of trending in the local dailies today. This one caught my attention. We are not Catholic nuns, says the Landless People's Movement. Anyone who expects the LPM to act like Catholic nuns in the National Assembly is grossly mistaken, the party's firebrand leader Bernardo Swartboy said this week. The former Lands Deputy Minister, who now leads the new opposition party and has had a series of dramatic moments in Parliament, often punctuated by swearing and threats of physical harm, also added that founding President Sam Nujoma had his flaws for which an unpleasant choice of words could be used.
Yeah. I think that one obviously, yes, it's run its course. Know now what they're all about. Yes, he did make it obviously category clear as to what their motto is and what their modus operandi is. So I'll take the attitude in Parliament, and that's it. And we'll see where this gets the LPM. It probably works for them, you understand? So, and that's it. But yes, they are not Catholic nuns, definitely not.
And he definitely doesn't seem to be back.
No, he's not pulling back. He's not going to pull back just because there are a few people who have an opinion about the conduct of the LPM in Parliament. He's not going to pull back. So So good for them.
It's good.
Yeah.
It has been rather quiet these days because, you haven't heard any of those videos that were flying around last week, the week before, of all the disruption and chaos. We need a new house song, please, guys.
Yeah, we need a new house song out
Give
there.
us something.
Yeah.
Mr. President, Mr. Swart Boy, please.
For instance, I think, the memes that's running around in public now on WhatsApp, on social media, where you see SWAPO parliamentarians sleeping in parliament. And then you just have this inscription, since Swart Boy is in the house, this will never happen again.
No more sleepies.
You see this Vambu meme in the gym with a Vambu dress, doing squats.
Trying to make sure she stays awake in parliament.
No. Say, getting ready for Swart Boy.
Speaking of parliament, also in one of the dailies, National Union of Namibian Workers, NUNW, Secretary General Job Munyaro. He has lashed out at National Assembly Speaker Peter Kashavivi for failing to maintain order, specifically during a recent incident in which LPM's Bernardo Swartboy called founding President Sam Nujoma a thug and a liar. Yeah, so I guess as much as we have moved on, there's still a lot happening behind the scenes with regards to that particular incident, because there's also a lot of other threats that are being leveled against the LPM leadership, in particular Mr. Sabeb and Mr. Swartboy. So,
guys, what can the speaker do?
Order.
Except for...
I would probably have to read the parliamentary rules, because I know they have like a rule book or something that they also have to all follow. I have no idea what is allowed, what is not allowed, and what the consequences are for breaking one of the rules, for instance. Did he give them a warning, or what did he do with like he give them a warning or something like that?
They had to leave
afterwards.
I'm not sure.
You can. I think that's what they had an issue with that.
Interesting. All right. Another thing that is, of course, also just not going away is Neville's fish rod business. The fish rod accused by the Anti-Corruption Commission, ACC, saying it has no financial capacity to handle an investigation the size of the international bribery scandal. Richard Metcalf, defense lawyer for former Fisheries Minister Bernard Esau, and his son-in-law Tamsin Hatuikulipi, yesterday turned Anti-Corruption Commission testimony on its head, saying the commission has no funds to carry out a proper investigation and that his clients are suffering as a consequence.
I agree.
What do you think?
We can just use the ombudsman's message, or basically the interview that we had with him yesterday, where he said he gets what, 17 million a year,
18
million a year, and about 16 million for overheads, expenses
for staff and
for staff, and
wage bill.
only 2 million is basically allocated for
doing stuff, investigations, and stuff.
So like that. Maybe that obviously transcends right into probably what happens at the ACC. How much money does the ACC have to investigate these?
But I'm not really comfortable speculating, because I also, once again, have no idea what the ACC's annual budget is.
I mean, they've admitted
that they're underfunded.
They could be better funded. I mean, I'm not just talking about Paul now, but even Olivier, William Olivier, the investigating officer, kind of admitted to it as that question was asked. Like, in fact, it was asked like, the Paulus now has made on public that the ACC's budget has been cut, or that they're underfunded or something. What do you have to say to that? Does it, impede on your investigations and And he kind of admitted that it does, but that they're waiting on assistance. They're waiting on assistance from other agencies around the world to assist them. Now, it's not good because it's been 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 7 years. They've been investigating 7 years, and they don't even have. I mean, never mind that they don't even have the records for that so-called Dubai account that's owned by James. It wasn't even in Dubai as they speculated. I think they took that information from. They took that information from the Al Jazeera, the first documentary on the fish rot. I think they took it from there, and they didn't actually go and verify. So it is in the UAE, but it's not specifically in Dubai. It came out in court. But apart from all of that, I think at this point, that's not even. I wouldn't even think that information coming out is the big news. I think yesterday we saw Richard Metcalf talk greatly about selective justice and why only those guys specifically, why only his clients and the co-accused, when there are many lawyers that were implicated in this saga that have not even arrest warrants. I mean, they gave Miran de Klerk as an example. Name and footprint is on everything. There's even the Kazakhstan bank account it's on his name, and he was busy transferring monies and obviously got a lot of money, but not even a.
So there's not even an arrest warrant?
No, there's no arrest warrant for him.
And this guy is, he absconded the country. What is the word that they use?
Khachip. It's klar.
So do you guys think this perceived incompetence by the ACC could botch this case? Do you think we could see a situation in which they're
messing up?
Yeah, they mess things up so badly that this guy
messing up.
End up either walking or with a little slap on the wrist.
They basically took, I think, all the public information that's basically just scattered all over the place. It seems like they just slapped everything together and started this prosecution. And you sit here with a seasoned lawyer in the name of Metcalf who can puncture holes in every allegation. And that's what he seems to be doing at the moment.
Yes, I mean, to say he's effective is, of course, I mean, you can kind of, when you look at him, you can just imagine what he's billing the guys.
Hey!
He's very on the ball. But there are certain things that are just not, like, for example, Esau claiming that he didn't know that the property had been changed to his name, or that the property was bought for him by Miran.
Which property is that?
No, it came out in court yesterday or the day before yesterday, that there was a plot that he had not declared.
In Chivarongo.
That it belongs to Esau and his wife on a 50-50%. I think it's called plot something.
Plot 51.
Yeah, plot 51. So
bought with government monies.
Yes, because Miran paid for it, right?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah, yes, it was so. That so Olivier put that information on the table when he was giving his statement, and then during cross-examination, the lawyer Richard Metcalf then just said, like, I have it from my client says that he had he's claiming that he had gone to Miran de Klerk for his last testament and will, and while there, Miran offered him that plot, that told him that there's that plot for sale, to which Esau apparently said he does not have money for it and he can't afford it, but that somehow the plot
ended up
on his name, but that he says he doesn't want it and is willing to give it back to the state because he had no idea it even existed. But it's registered on a company name, a CC.
Even Plot 51 Investments, CC, or something of that nature.
With his wife and him on the record. So
founding members.
Yeah, certain things just don't make sense. So it's like, okay, I get that you're a defense lawyer, but can things also make sense to us? And that one, I mean, not only that one didn't make any more sense, but the defense was also, there was also another important, interesting element where Olivier spoke about this conspiracy from the time Saki was chairperson of law reform to enter the fishing industry, and that he wrote a letter for Esau
to himself that Esau then signed off. And Richard Metcalf, we've seen the documents, and he's unfortunately very correct in saying this is not what you guys think it is. Well, it at surface level at least, you know. Deeper it could. I do agree that deeper there is obviously some conniving. Yeah, that's clear. Oh, I mean, but how do you justify in those communications? Those things are never mentioned explicitly.
Exactly.
It's always like just in the undertone.
Yes. Yeah. But other people were CC'd in there, like the Pendukenis, who was then at the time Justice Minister, and Attorney General.
AG at the time as well.
Yes, yeah. Albert Kawana were also CC'd in there. So Richard was just saying, look, if you are saying that this email between Esau and Saki is conspiracy, then why haven't the other two been charged as well?
The other people who are also CC'd in that email. When are we talking to them? When do we hear from them?
Did you think that statement? So yeah, he's he's basically flipping the table on them to show selective justice, which, you know what, in all honesty, he's not wrong. Like, those 7 guys should be in there, no question, but they shouldn't be there alone.
Yeah,
they shouldn't, and that is selective justice. When you're only going for some and not for others, you can see why that is now all of a sudden a defense.
I do think, guys, that, and the next question that we need to ask ourselves, now we have certain members of the ruling party, okay, who basically questions the integrity of the party currently. Former Prime Minister Nazangula came out, Meme Pendukeni came out. I also saw that the former governor of I know it's not related to that, but it seems like if you're not in a power position anymore, then you tend to talk more against the party. Or so, like the former governor of the Erongo region, now he talks about tribalism, for instance, and he had a long essay talking about tribalism, which I do think that, you know, during his time as governor, he never addressed issues like this. But if you see the gist of the post, it's like poking at government. The issue of Meme Pendukeni saying, you know, the soul of the party is under scrutiny at the moment. The former Prime Minister saying that these elected officials of the Swapo party at the moment can't be there because they were elected with stolen money. So my question to you guys is, are we taking the moral high ground if we don't eat anymore? It seems to me like that.
But that shouldn't surprise you, Neville.
That's just politics, right?
Yeah, it shouldn't surprise you.
As ek nie meer eet nie, dan begin praat ek. Then I start criticizing.
Yes, of course.
Then I become a whistleblower.
Trustco is the best company to work for until they fire me. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
It is. I saw an article by Pendukeni saying they always knew something was off.
Huh?
Yeah, I think you said in the 2017 Congress, where apparently some comrades were just given envelopes with money on how to vote.
She saw this.
you know what? I don't think she saw it, but it was a known thing. In fact, I remember hearing it as well. That what
time.
was being passed around, there was a list that had been passed around on how to vote, so that for the parliamentary list.
Of course.
So they needed a certain order. But then people couldn't take the papers into the voting booth.
Yeah.
So people had to improvise and try to remember the names
of who you're supposed to
who
vote
they're
for.
supposed to vote. But it was very, very much spoken about, not just within the party but outside, and anybody that used to listen to gossip at the time would remember this period very, very well, where there was claims of clear attempts to have a certain number of certain faces on the parliamentary list, and that there was an exchange of money. I don't know if Meme Pendukeni saw it or if she can prove it, but it was a well-known thing within the party. So I don't think those claims are off. What I have a problem with is implying that might have been the only time. The only time that it was done. You understand? It's not exactly the most upstanding party in our country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think you're pleading. It's like pleading ignorance to certain things, but not the things that don't benefit you. You know what I mean? So you want to be vocal about the things that work against you, but you want to be silent on the other things you know about. I'm very, very, very sure that Meme Pendukeni knows things about other incidences that
course.
she's probably not saying anything.
But you see, it steals from even your credibility, because if you're going to take a moral stance, then take a moral stance and just denounce everything that is
and leave the party
morally corrupt.
Yeah, and leave the party if really what you're saying is it's an organization, right, for which you pay membership for, right? That membership helps it sustain this monster. But in any event, it's you basically choose to associate with this party on membership. It's like me choosing to go to Virgin Active and pay a membership fee and do whatever I want to do. But if let's say Virgin Active brand does no longer aligns with my personal values, what are you still doing?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, for some of these guys, like, look, the party is basically, it's my life. I'm never going to leave, but I have a problem with the people who are leading we all know.
The is the people.
We all know what the SWAPO brand meant to a lot of Namibians during the struggle. A lot of these guys who are now sitting in these positions of power were actually involved in the struggle itself. Some of them are blindly loyal to
But she isn't,
the
because
brand.
she's criticizing it.
But that's what I'm saying. If you're
Like
gonna,
Nahas criticizing.
Yes, if you're going to take a moral... Like, look, Nahas decided, okay, I'm going to retire. I'm stepping out, right? And then he was quiet for a little while. But now I see there's a lot of noise coming out of the Nahas camp. So I don't know what that is all about. I haven't really read into it. But that's what I'm saying. Look, some, like for me, is it Pendukeni we're talking about? I don't want to leave, but I want things to change. So I'm going to make as much noise and kick up as much dust here around me. Hopefully, I can grab the attention of the right people. But then you must take that stance on everything, not just on the things that do not benefit you.
Maria, we were discussing this also just briefly. We just had a brief chat about this. And we said, the older generation of SWAPO, for me, it looks like extremely difficult for the old generation of SWAPO to leave the party and make a significant impact outside the party. The younger generation of SWAPO, like the Job Amopanda stem, it seems like if they leave the party, there's a lot of traction when they leave the party, because the youth element that they bring to whatever it is that they are doing on the side
That the youth support.
seems to have more traction, because you can look in the history, whoever left the older generation of the SWAPO party, they come back, it's cold outside. Whether it's the Nyamus or the
But even that for me is
Idipos,
fundamentally a problem.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. No, you're right.
I like I said, this blind loyalty. I've seen it. I've seen people that you cannot say anything about SWAPO. that blind loyalty. In fact, those I can forgive. Because I'm like, you know what? It's fine. This is religion for you.
You've chosen your side and you are sticking there.
You've chosen your side and you're sticking to it. Yeah. I might not agree, but I appreciate it. Yeah. You understand? I can appreciate loyalty. I really can. I have a problem with, especially people that were within the leadership. Now, years later, now that they've been kind of put to the side, now they have the most to say. These things aren't due to them. In fact, they benefited largely from it.
Yes.
Okay? So you can't, now that you're kind of on the outside, want to speak up. But also, apart from all of that, if you can criticize the party itself, and you're still a member, then you're also criticizing yourself. It cannot be, you cannot otherings. You cannot be me and others. You know? You are part of the system. You are part of the organization. Take accountability. Everything you say, know that that's also a reflection on you. If you say the leadership has failed, that's on you. The leadership is corrupt, that's on you.
But is that not maybe also a good virtue to have self-reflection and say, you know what, I'm here, there's something wrong in our house, let's fix it.
Yes, and Mandela did that, by the way. Mandela Kapere went on his Facebook and he said, look, I'm paraphrasing. But it's something about, you know, the eroding in the values of SWAPO. And they cannot ignore that corruption is linked to the party now. And they need to do something. Otherwise, you know, this will be the legacy of SWAPO and like it's too great of a party to do that. There's that introspection, but this is not... And by the way, please don't get me wrong. I love that woman. I love Meme Pendukeni. You know, she's a firebrand. I love strong women. I love women like her. Just generally, I just gravitate towards such a woman. So even me speaking up is not anything personal. I just feel like for what she did is very different to Mandela. Mandela is like, look, guys, let's look within. Let's look at ourselves. Let's reflect. Let's try and fix whatever is broken. The idea and the label attached to SWAPO cannot be corruption. It cannot be. This cannot be our legacy. Let's introspect. Let's do something. This is not what Meme Pendukeni has been doing. Meme Pendukeni those people have been busy. Those people have been doing this. But it's like you were part of the leadership, top leadership, just by the way. I mean, from the time she was even Secretary General of the party. Do you know how powerful the SG is of any party? I mean, sometimes I argue it's more powerful than the president.
Maria, bijvoorbeeld. Let's talk about the 17 million from Fishcore that allegedly was channeled to the party. Come on, man.
No, it's fundamentally wrong. In other countries, if it's found that your campaign, and I'm not saying this is what it is, guys, I'm just saying if that conclusion can be drawn with legitimate investigation.
Yes.
In other countries, if your campaign has been
funded with illegal money,
you kind of have to recuse yourself or step down. Not, literally step down and say, and it has happened in other countries. But I don't want to say that's the natural conclusion. There is also, and I also try to be very, very careful because there is something called name dropping.
Yeah, be careful.
You understand? There's something called name dropping. I saw it in the Al Jazeera video.
Yeah.
Where Esau, what I call, I didn't see him as somebody that had been delegated by the party to collect money.
Yes.
No, this is a name drop. Let me do this for my party.
Yes.
And stay in good books.
Yes.
With the party. Now, SWAPO can respond to this and say, yo, we didn't know that the money came from there. We didn't send this guy. Yes, he was a SWAPO member. Yes, he was a member of cabinet. Let's rectify this. That would be transparency, right? Because it's saying, like, this happened and let's correct it. But now it's a...
Is that now, Kaesa? To hide your face?
No, that's what's up.
Hey, Maria. Jy moet jou gedra, né? Yeah, you must know how you talk also, you.
What an interesting time to be alive, guys. Let me read some comments for you. Ek beweeg net bietjie.
Luister, terwyl jy beweeg. I mean, it's on record that fish core, that money was paid over from, is it from Caesar Namanje's account? To the Swapo party. It's on record. Nou, wat is die probleem nou? Hulle het mos die party het die zak gekry. They knew that this came from an SOE, okay? So nobody is asking why is Fishcore giving us this.
Why is an SOE funding a Swapo campaign?
That's what he's saying.
Dis hoekom ek vra.
Ja.
It's
Die
like
party
clearly
moet mos
why is
vra.
the SOE?
Well, no, as omdat ek hier so besig was. I just heard SOE and Swapo and Trigger.
No, that's what he's saying. Why would
My bad.
fundamentally, I mean, even the money, where it's coming from, I mean, can you not say, Mama Jens, this is an SOE.
Yeah.
This is public money.
This is public money. You can't be funding or political campaign
Ek
of
wil nie
any party.
Hy's bang vir sy check. Hy sê comedy check sal nie weer kom.
Ek wil nie hê nie.
Because these guys, they operate with such impunity, guys. Like, oh no. Kom ek lees net comments voor
Lees jou comments.
Beg for bypraat.
Start with the very last one by Semi. I know, do you guys have a hearing problem? Sometimes I wonder.
Semi Rumbi.
Wat is dit?
The way Maria is defending Swapo, one can tell somehow she have benefited.
I like, damned if I do, damned if... I've been criticizing Swapo since the whole show. So...
Selective hearing. Oh, yes. If anything... Okay, anybody. Swapo is full of greedy people. I can't read that surname. Right? Opinion. Jacob Naftal. Just wait. These guys will be free once because of lack of evidence and corruption in Namibian justice from ACC Director, Prosecutor General to Chief Justice. Dankie Gauses. Cause... No. She's replying to something. You see, these conversations, they confuse me, especially when I start reading.
Now, why don't you just usually start from the top and take it down?
Because you see, if I'm reading from the top, while I'm busy reading and the new comments are coming in at the bottom, then some of the comments start disappearing. But in any case, let's do that. ACC doesn't have the proper staff to investigate. They need to outsource the investigation unit to forensic investigators, says Sam January.
That's actually not Sam that said it, to be honest. That the person that said it was, in fact, Bernardo Swarboy. So just give it to the source of the argument, so that it doesn't seem like it's your own argument. But yeah, this is what Bernardo Swarboy said at his press conference, that it cannot be given to Interpol because those are other African nations, and there will be other Africans investigating Namibia, and there's too much trade relations and political. So they must give it to the FBI. Now, the mistake I made is not going to read up on the mandate of the FBI to see if that's even plausible, or is it just a crazy suggestion. I know they've involved themselves in affairs of other countries, but it's usually because they are somehow linked
to America,
to the US. So even if it's the drug cartel, but it's because those illicit drugs are somehow finding themselves on the streets of Miami or the streets of New York or whatever. Like the FBI was in Colombia, for example. During that time, they were trying to take down
Shorty or
Plato.
Oh yeah.
El Chapo.
No, El Chapo is Mexico.
Not El Chapo.
But even with El Chapo, you see, even in Mexico, the FBI was involved there. So I know they don't just function within the borders. But I'm just saying, like on here, and as far as we've been able to ascertain so far, and I mean, I'm saying so far because so much information is coming out. Like we're hearing about accounts in Kazakhstan, guys. Do you understand? A lot of new information is coming out. But at the same time, really, we've not seen any American link so far.
Yeah.
With the fish rot, not on the guys that are selling the fish or the guys that wanted quotas or in offshore accounts.
Yeah, the US is like they haven't come up anyway. In
so
the
far,
conversations.
as far as we can understand, so far. Like
Also,
I said, it could still come up.
Granted, we don't know what exactly the ACC is sitting with at the moment. So,
ACC is an open book at the moment.
hey,
They've played all their domino cards.
Los Papeles no AIDS. Tibobo Sabata is saying deliberately underfunded to use it as an excuse not to investigate. Well planned. Sit net vir AGT. 8-9 maande. Is nie Afrikaans. En gaan huis toe is die plan. Sit for like about a year and then we'll let you go on a technicality.
Yeah.
Fran Thomas.
Friendland Thomas.
No, I don't know. Just
Friend.
Just friend.
It's Friendland, yeah. It's friend.
Friendland, you look young in your
Friendland is nog ngaai, jong.
profile picture.
Sy is zalikie, maar sy kan nog WhatsApp gestuur word.
Van die 12. Sy is van die 12.
Sy is van die 12.
Neville lyk so bekommerd. Die Fishrod story finish die man. Arm.
Nee, is die Swapo connection wat hom finish.
I'm friend to everyone.
Come on. That is, are you like Namibia's foreign policy? Enemy to none,
Friend to all.
Yeah, friend to all. Like, that is the dumbest foreign policy I've ever heard before. Raymond Besson, guys, when will you guys come up with a nice competition? For the show, when we listeners who wake up so early in the mornings to watch you guys can win some goodies. You know, we Namibians, we love free goodies.
Okay. Thanks for that point. We'll look into it.
We'll give away an IOL scholarship.
It's
Sometimes I'm scared to be in studio because I don't know if you guys are allowed to be saying. I don't want a written warning. Soeke written warning nie.
Please, the views and opinions. Don't forget the views and opinions.
Wacht net, Sammy kom nou net hier deur.
Like, hello.
Hey, you can't mention the company's name with lies.
But good point.
Comrade Michael Shipiki, Fishrod net is very flexible. Soon it will accommodate many big fishes as well. Yeah. It says Nahas start talk because he's not eating anymore. Africans, we don't talk with food in our mouths.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. Has it been
We
implicated
don't talk
in
with
anything?
food in our mouth.
Yeah, yes. I don't know if it's okay. I wouldn't go as far as that. I mean, I don't know if it's been implicated in anything, but it is very correct. Like, why do you have to wait? I know it's a look. I'm also being unfair because I know it's a system against you. You know what? It's the system that feeds you. That it's easy to say, yeah, it is, but when you're in the system and you benefit from the system and it's your livelihood and you understand, it's easy to like.
Toe the line.
And a lot of us will really, how many people are working, for example, for companies where they're not happy, but they can't speak out because they're trying to toe the line because they need their salary at the end. So I need to remember that as well when I criticize.
Yeah.
So, but again, I get it. I like that people are speaking up, you know? I like that they're speaking up. I just, for me, wish they were speaking something could have been done. Like,
to Job gepraat het, nee? When Job was talking about Saki. So Job was probably accused of just being jealous.
Yeah, by the party, but he had a lot of support.
No, he had
he had a lot of support.
No, you're right.
You know,
he had a lot
when
of
he
support.
said it, and I mean, and that's maybe the system again we're talking about. Like, I mean, he was silenced into submission, or he was forced into submission because then. Is it Marin de Klerk, actually, that came to represent Saki?
Oh, yeah.
It was Marin de Klerk. I don't know, it was closed-door negotiations. They were not allowed to talk about it. Something was signed off between them. But we knew that after that, it didn't go to court. They'd negotiated something, but then Job was not allowed to publicly criticize Saki. He only, I think, started doing it after he was arrested. So again, it's a system. You understand, the guy with the money, with a hotshot lawyer, comes to you and
money makes the world go.
Yeah, then you have to toe the line. You don't have a choice. Otherwise, you're going to lose.
But then, don't you think that also makes it difficult for those who are inside the party?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Even if you're not necessarily eating, but the fact. I mean, eating illicitly.
Yeah.
But the fact that you are there, I mean, you're still holding to the party somehow because, I mean, they are paying your bills and so on.
This is you're saying exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying that's why I also need to remember that it's not so easy to speak up when you're in the system and you're benefiting from the system and it is survival. It's easier to when the system no longer has a leverage on you, like Meme Pendukeni and
Tatenas.
Like they're still
General
Tapo members, but it doesn't have a stronghold because they don't really foresee themselves getting any positions now anyway.
Going forward.
So it's easier to say, okay, no connect prime. You know, like I said, a part of me does wish it happened earlier, but a part of me also understands
Why it's only happening now. The fish will smell even in court. Yes, we understand. Donkey houses, those people hardly sleep at night, wondering when they will be pulled in. High blood pressure is getting high. Memeshaningwa them. Raymond Basson, guys, it's Friday. Leave the politics. Talk about vlees kumbesa. The cold is coming.
It's Alba level. It's all you want to talk about. I mean, there was a guy that was granted bail of 3K yesterday, but like, level, okay.
Yeah.
V? Excuse me?
Cool boy.
Aye. So, Cool Boy was granted bail yesterday. Okay.
Money makes the world go
No, that's money.
round.
No. Let me tell you, okay, since we are on that, can I?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something and a lot of listeners perhaps don't know this. This guy was arrested 4 days after the incident, but he was arrested conveniently on a Thursday morning, and then like an hour or two, conveniently, is in the magistrate courts. And then what most people don't know is the journalists that were there. You know that corridor that you guys always see the Fish Road 7 walking through? So normally the journalists stay in the front of it because that's usually how they bring in suspects into the courtroom. So the journalists can get an opportunity to take the pictures of whatever. With this specific guy, the police was clearly shielding him, that they took a different route. So instead of going through that corridor, they took him around through where the people that are usually waiting to go into the courtroom, the front of the courtroom, took him around there and then brought him through a different side and then into the courtroom. So a lot of journalists were blindsided, didn't even get a picture of him. But it was a clear orchestrated plan to avoid the media. They didn't want the media to get him. So already from then I was like, who is this guy and how did he do that? It comes with some influence. But then, to add to it, onto that, another layer is the state prosecutor didn't even object to the granting of bail. Not at all. Stood in court and this guy's requested bail, and the state never said no. And the state actually could have, because there was legitimate argument. This was a big thing. There's a national outcry.
Yeah.
It's open conversations. Everybody's talking about it. The video has gone viral. You know, you can argue public interest. Like, he's a danger to society at this point. You understand? Like, what can he do? If he can get that triggered at a woman,
who says somebody else is not going to trigger him tomorrow?
Isn't going to trigger him, and is he really safe? But at least until his next appearance, at least in September. But it's like for you to do that, and there's a video circulating wide, like nationwide. Everybody has seen that video. Majority are disgusted, even though there is a portion of society that is excusing it. But still, and you get arrested 4 days later like it's nothing. In the morning, you don't do not jail time at all. Like, at all. You basically almost like from Simabasia to the courtroom.
Magistrate court. To just go pay your bail and go back home.
Yeah. Just pay your bail and go back home.
So when is he appearing in court again?
He's out.
He's out.
On bail.
On bail for
He
until
appeared
September.
in court, got bail
September.
that day to chip a year.
Yeah, the case was pursued.
But you don't put somebody with Louis Vuitton shoes in jail.
But then
Guys
his
wearing
lawyer.
Louis Vuitton shoes.
Yeah, but there were some bail conditions that he has to report himself to the nearest, like every day or whatever. But even his lawyer puts it on record, like, yeah, we will probably come in. We understand right now that those conditions, because it's a national whatever, but we will come in, whatever those bail conditions like. Apply to.
We will come argue them again.
Yes.
I understand his wife. There's a counterclaim by the wife. She laid a charge against.
Was in studio gister? Oh yeah, no.
No. I stepped out.
No, we
Yes,
spoke about it. No,
yes,
that's
yeah.
why I said that's actually how they were able to identify him. So after the attack, I don't know if it's a wife or a girl. I don't know if he's married. I don't know.
They said what I gather from it's his wife.
Okay. So shortly after the incident happened, obviously I don't think they thought there was CCTV TV at the time. The wife went to the police station.
Immediately.
Yeah, practically. Okay. He was her witness.
Okay.
And she made a case against the shop steward or the cashier, saying that the woman attacked her in the shop. Obviously, this is just an attempt to cover the tracks. He can't go make that case because who's going to believe a woman attacked that guy? I mean, I've seen his muscles. You know, so they used the wife as leverage to say that. I mean, now that you see the video, it's almost ridiculous. But then she should also be arrested, because how do you just go make a claim against somebody for apparently attacking you and there's no evidence of such? Dis nie reg nie.
Yeah, there were people here in the buildings who said that guy looks like me. They were asking me if it's me.
Yes, it's not a kapunda. That's the only reason I knew it wasn't.
I don't have a kapunda. It's the apple in my pocket.
Your daddy was a musician.
Yeah.
You know, those were infamous back in the day. Papa was a rolling stone.
So the guy in the video is not me, okay? Yeah. Please.
All right. It's it is a mockery of our judiciary system. But in any case, speaking of mockeries, Bernard Bongoran Navasep, African leadership cannot be trusted at all. It does not matter who. Look at the insult coming from Malawi.
Hey!
The new president includes his wife and siblings in his cabinet.
We were singing the praises last week
of this guy,
of this new elected president of Malawi. I mean that they had to go back and there was a re-election. And this guy won. He passed with flying colors, just to come back and see what he's been doing now.
Okay. Do you know why I don't want to comment on that story yet? Because I don't know if these relatives were active before in politics and at what rank they are. I think everybody's just going off of their siblings. But imagine they are siblings, but they're both been very, very active in politics.
In politics, yeah.
Then it would, for me, then it's not an issue, because if you took his wife out of a kitchen, sorry for the analogy, it's the worst one. I'm sorry. Like I feel like I'm betraying myself by using that analogy, but it's the only one that I can think of, right? Because it's the common one. But if you took his wife out of a kitchen and put her in a leadership position, then yes, we can say how that's clearly wrong.
Are the people actually are they qualified to serve?
It's like when Trump appointed his daughter and his son-in-law that have no political background, that have not worked in those organizations. Yes, it's clearly wrong in that aspect.
Nepotism.
But with this article, I actually want to go check. I don't know, because nobody, even when I read the article, it's like nobody's giving me the background of these people. Did they have any political background? Have they been in politics? You could have found that these guys have been really in prominent positions in politics and they were hired, but now it's all people are looking at is the blood relation and not really your CV and your credibility.
But the apparent outcry from the people of Malawi, I mean, we haven't seen. Jong, het ons nog onze jets. Kan ons nie op Malawi toe vlieg?
Het ons jets.
Company.
Scare Namibia.
Yeah. The outcry from the people makes it seem like maybe there is something untoward. I mean, like, we don't know the real story, but
I didn't see that. That's what I'm saying. I need to go check. I'm not saying it's
the reported outcry.
Yeah. I just saw the reports.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen, like, I don't really follow Malawans online to see what their opinion on the issue is. So all I've been able to consume right now is and it's just those sketchy headlines, like
clickbaiters.
Like the clickbaiters. And if he just pulled people to whatever, yes, huge disappointment.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm not going to comment until I go read it up and
do you have all the information?
Until I have all the information, just to be responsible with
Somebody was asking for awesome competitions. If you check out Informanté Radio on Facebook, there's always competitions, there's always a competition, always something to be won. So yeah, you can go check that out. By the way, 12 to 1, Tate Nawanes and Tate Hannes Kaufman will be streaming that. Will be streaming there as well. Anyway, back to the comments. Cleophas Mushabikwa. I've heard that name before somehow. No, but I've heard that name, maybe on the Herero radio station. But I've heard
Don't you know who's Cleophas Mushavikwa? Okay.
I don't.
Now read the comment.
No, first give us the background.
Cleophas Mushavikwa is the name of the former governor of the Irongo region.
You see, that's why I said I know that name from somewhere. Because I've heard it. It just rolls off the tongue too easy. In 2014, I wrote an article when I was in office on fishing irregularities. Right? I was clear on land question in the SWAPO party and land conference. I was clear in the 2017 Congress. I was clear at land conference. On the EPL, I was clear in public as well as on recruitments in office or not. I am what I am. Being governor is not the only food on earth.
Rikana, Chipuka.
Okay.
That's very big of you, I must say.
Cleophas pro vice president.
Yeah. So how? I'm just curious. Maybe if you can comment. So how did that turn out for you? Like you speaking up, did you feel that you were sidelined afterwards? Was there a change in how?
Did they try to push you out because you were too vocal?
Did they try to elbow you out of the way? Yes. I'm just very curious to know then how because we know like the more outspoken you are, especially against the leadership, that it doesn't always work out for you.
It doesn't work out well because anybody, it just seems like if you do speak out and if you're extremely vocal about certain things, you just gradually, something happens that you're just in obscurity completely.
So subtle warnings.
Yeah.
It's like,
So, Inyangu, maybe you can tell us how did, like Maria is asking, how did it work out for you? You think the fact that you did not maintain your governor's position,
was that perhaps
linked to it, or was it a fair time to leave government now?
And just by the way, governor, those are appointed. Those are presidential appointments.
It's presidential appointments. Yes.
Maria, you are making good comments. Mara, your hair is disturbing you, man.
Askis, man. What must I do now? Must I go back to black? Take it, the hood is not cheap. It's expensive hairstyle.
At least if you date her, you won't have to buy Brazilians. She can rock her own hair.
That's such an old statement. I'm so tired of it. If I got $1 every time somebody said that, I would be rich by now.
You can give those dollars to me. Asino Kambikiti Erastus, from ACC to Supreme Courts, they can't cut off the hand that feeds them. This is beginning to be an easy case like elections. I think the way we view government in this country is deeply flawed. Deeply, deeply flawed. But that is probably a conversation for another day. Voshia Alana Greenwood now says, Luderitz, I thought it was because they were afraid there was a mob outside. But now that Maria is saying it makes sense. DJ Q, please read Honorable Mushavikwa's comment from Makwa Van Makwa.
Yeah, it's the one you read. But I did see he responded again after we asked him a question. He just said, the crux is that I said the same things while in office. I don't know if he doesn't want to go into details. But his basic, I think his argument was like, you can't speak while you're in office.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait.
You don't have to wait to get out to say something.
Yeah, yes. But again, the point was that if you do speak while you're in office, there are repercussions, and that's why we're asking if that speaking out
were there repercussions for you?
Were there any?
Were there repercussions for you?
Because if you say there were none, then kudos. Then more people should be talking. Then why are we waiting?
More people should be talking.
Why are we waiting to kind of get out of the system?
For instance, guys, you know what? I'm on two very significant. Poke fun at me again.
Sorry, before you continue, before you say your I was just thinking that's also why you don't like to talk about politics, because even for you, it's your check. Check. It's true, Neville.
Maria.
Neville.
I am very candid talking about it. And this is what I wanted to say.
You always hide when we talk about this.
Oh, up. Hey,
do you see Neville when we're talking about swap or something? Do you see how he
starts he moves that side.
Yes.
There are two WhatsApp groups that I'm on that have very, very prominent SWAPO members on that group. Okay? There are certain ministers and very powerful people in the party. And when we poke fun at the party, like yesterday. I mean, we went all out. Talking about this thing.
Screenshot.
Next, Alex, screenshot me. And you can clearly see that there are certain, and not people from the party, but people that you know who benefit from government. Okay, and you can clearly see when this discussion starts coming, they go mum. They go mum. There's
I just
no
want to see you
rebut.
doing it on radio.
But you see, if
I do it.
Maria, if you're going mum, right, Neville, it's almost an indication that the benefits that you are getting, it's not really merited. So you're afraid this is going to go away if you say something because you're not really deserving of what you're getting.
Because the thing is, and you're right. Because the thing is, at this moment in time, what particular do I have as I sit here that can be taken away from the party? I don't have any fishing rights. I have no fishing quotas. I have no, what do you call it, mining licenses, or what do you call it?
Exploration.
EPLs. I have nothing. There's nothing.
You have your jokes.
Yeah, but my jokes, I mean, I have corporates who speak to me. I have the general public who ask me to come and do events.
Don't worry, I was just poking fun of you, but I would like to see you a little bit more. You do actually. I don't think you know you're doing it, but you do shy a bit.
No.
Or maybe it's just you don't like politics.
No, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Politics.
Or maybe you are blindly loyal to the party.
No. The reason I'm having this discussion now is because it's not a political discussion, but it's for me it's a discussion about morals, because of the fact, because the party is directly linked to this fish rot saga at the moment. My question is, for instance, like, if the party did receive this money, why is the party mum on this money? I'm asking this question.
En waar is die geld?
En waar is die geld? And there's a little list, locatie list that goes around that we all saw of certain very high-powered people within SWAPO who received money. Okay? You guys have seen the list out there.
Hoe sien jy? Praat die list. Praat, wat is
Nee,
die naam?
sê julle die lys.
I don't know the list.
Ek sal vir julle die lys stuur op die groep, laat julle.
Nee, screenshot net die hele conversation. We want to see what was said.
Hey, gaan.
Grab net die ons number 8.
Somebody even said on the group yesterday, that one is an old list.
We have a new one.
There's a new list coming. So, julle ken die lys, you know the names on that list. Max
must instigate a holy boy. The governor should tell us about his take on the audio about mine retrenchment that was trending back then. I don't know. I didn't have a smartphone back then, so I don't know. The governor was not removed. His term came to an end from Eddie Toba says. When last did you read our local newspaper? Millions gone missing. Change is upon us. I guess fish rot was the final score. And then the governor also saying, leaving public office, to me, it was normal as my term of office came to an end, meaning I can be reappointed or not. Right? Okay. Neville zones out.
Yeah. But, okay, can I say? I'm not going to read it, right? Because it's not a verified list. But ultimately, I think the thing is named Fish Rot Cash Flow 2017 SWAPO Congress. And then you have all these leaders. Next to it, the amount of money that was paid and whatever. My problem is, whoever constructed this, right? Take that information to the ACC.
Yes.
If you are in possession of the exact amounts, you even know into whose daughter's accounts things were so called. I assume, because you have that information, you are a key figure. You are a very key figure to this network, because who weet jy? How do you know all these names? I'm talking, this is a long list. I'm talking about 20 names. It's so called 20 names. It's just the problem is when these things are sent, nobody really questions. It's like they're unfarnet. And I'm not saying it's wrong. What I'm saying is, if somebody did this and it's a legitimate list, it must come from somebody that had access to the accounts to know so baie wazir gegee, soveel wazir gegee, and then in which event.
Dis mos my niggie wat by Standard Bank werk. Sê vir my, die goeie gastuur.
And you can't even that. Even that. Why doesn't the ACC have that information? Yeah, but
I
that's
can't take that to ACC. My naghi's going to get fired.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to share it with you guys.
What I'm saying is, a cashier can actually not pull your records anymore.
Oh, they can't anymore.
No, they can't. It's for years now. You can't just go to. That's why these people say, yeah, they mean say in the bank check, means it's a statement. You can't, and unless I go into the bank and ask for a printout of my statements, and she catches or he catches something. But you actually can't do it. There's an authorization process. It's not easy like...
Screenshot, bro. Just open the account while you are busy withdrawing money. I'm screenshotting. Print screen. And then
No, you actually
WhatsApp.
can't. Yeah. But what I'm also saying is that the ACC is investigating their accounts.
Yeah.
But in any event, I'm just saying if somebody has this information, please take it to the ACC.
No, I agree.
Then people can
I
be held
agree.
accountable.
Hey, wat lag jy?
Ro, Jimun Opo.
That's it, Ro.
Maria, brace yourself for this one. Los per Neville around Swapo. We stop naming James around you.
Actually, you haven't. But why is there double standards? You guys actually haven't. Yeah.
It's true.
Okay, I'm willing to make an agreement. I cannot agreement, Mark. If you guys can completely forget that I briefly dated this guy nearly 5 years ago. It's almost it's not. It's 4.5. But look, nearly 5 years ago.
You guys dated?
Under 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But if you can forget,
Ons sal nie.
vergeet die asseblief man.
Ons sal nie.
Yeah, just forget it. And then we can also forget about Neville. Is there no agreement?
Nee.
There's
Luister.
no agreement.
Kyk Maria. Kyk. Ek weet mos nie. As I sit here, I've never benefited. Verstaan jy? So if people poke fun, ek
Did
is
you then say that the mic hired you?
It was not Swapo who hired me.
No, that the mic is Fishcore.
No, Fishcore hired me.
Yes.
Under the umbrella of Fishcore.
Yes.
And Fishcore paid me.
Yes.
No, wat is die probleem?
Van waar het hy geld gekom?
Ek is mos van die fishing code.
You guys, julle maak my klaar, joh.
Ja, no.
Wat? Hoor kaba hierso.
What is exposing? There's nothing here.
There's nothing to
There's nothing to hide here. in the
Open
studio,
book. I went to Ludrets. I've been hosting events in Ludrets, sponsored by Fishcore. So I slept at the Nest Hotel. So what?
It's nice.
Crayfish Festival.
It's next. You came back with a box of crayfish.
I said, "Hey, Khanji, it's not true." Yeah. Me, Tate Mike, and Teme Kanja, we would stand there at the Nest Hotel with a big check and sponsored the Crayfish Festival. I'm hosting these events. Ek is betaald. That's it. Ek het die visrot goed geken nie. What did I know about visrot?
Nobody knew about it. Yeah, it's not makkelijk.
I knew. Me, I knew. I know also where the money went, Kama. Why would I put myself at that great risk? I played my part by releasing the little information I have. Someone can take it from there. Elton Tito Ngwaiko. Today is lit in the studio.
Zullen grappen, jullie hou mos van grappen.
Felicity
Maar Roger
Gontes.
moet vir Maria uit.
Ja. Is jy mos nie Robert met alcohol gegeet? Oh.
Nee, is hier
Amper
Roger.
gesê, ek breek die bottel terug. Nee.
Ivone. Felicity
It's Ivor.
Gontes Luderits is saying, julle altyd het gebenefit, sowieso. Ons in Luderits, ons kry honger. Hulle bring van Neville van Windhoek af. Nou kom kry 'n groot check. Something is fishy.
I mean, to be honest to the guys down there at Ludrets, you know what, guys, it's always been such a blessing
I've
to
never
be.
been there. How's it?
Oh,
The
I
what is it
love.
called? Crayfish Festival?
Yeah, but the town in itself, it's a very small town. It's got its own identity. But I love going to Ludrets, and this year, obviously with everything, I couldn't go to Ludrets. So I hope things will normalize next year. So yeah, I would love to go and see the town again.
I want to go there for photography purpose. I've never been there.
Very rocky. Very rocky.
Picturesque.
Picturesque.
The few pictures that I've seen.
And windy.
Nice.
Die wind vaai daarso.
Dis wat se tyd nou mense. Julle weet nou. Lees 'n paar comment laat ons uitgaan.
Kyk kom maar shines.
Cubase is maybe the only honest person in the studio. The other two are corrupt.
Wie is hy?
Richard Henkert.
Hey, Richard.
Tell them please, Richard.
No, what you don't understand. This is a big system. Cubase's uncle came to paint Saki's house.
That's
They contract mos, renovation.
No, that guy is not really my uncle. He just grew up around the farm. Hey man, leave my things alone. Alright guys, let's get out of here. What's up for the weekend?
No, actually I thought no. I actually don't know.
I'm not sure.
I have to look at my diary. I have to look at my diary. So I might have things lined up, I might not. Otherwise it's really just gonna be a relaxed weekend at home. Yeah, there's nothing.
No, this weekend there's nothing going on this weekend. And Maria, this is not easy, I tell you. And I was saying it to, I don't know who I spoke to the other day. And you know, we speak about this quite regularly. My weekends have always been, you know,
mild.
No, jam-packed. Like tonight I'm having a big show. Tomorrow night I'm having a big show.
Yeah, I used to have them lined up.
I always had them lined up. And I say again, not just for the financial side of things, but you know, guys, I crave my spirit. I crave to stand in front of 500, 600, 700 people.
Just go with the 250. You're asking for too much now.
250 is little, man. But yeah, even 250. Just to stand in front of a crowd of people and with a mic in my hand. I haven't done that since February because of these regulations and but yeah.
So no, just net PDA's.
Ek is net PDA's elke naweek en I love being at home.
Fiddling and twitching and obviously tonight ek en my vrou sit maar by die vuur vanaand. I'll drink my gin and tonic and I'll be arrested by Bierman over the wall. Bierman! Kom drink by ons man, and I have to, you know, repel them away. Say, nee, ek sit hier so. And then tomorrow be at home. That's it. Yeah.
You're going to watch Arsenal Spurs?
That's a good game. That will be a good game. Maria, that's a good game to watch.
Arsenal and Spurs?
Against Spurs. It's a
Somebody
London
did mention it here.
derby. It's a North London derby.
Probleem ek is ek het nie weer
Yeah, it's true. You're almost Netflix girl.
I'm only Netflix girl.
You're not missing much.
No, that's why I got off because I wasn't.
Yeah, it's an old horse that doesn't have legs anymore versus an old dog that doesn't have teeth anymore. It's gonna be, yeah.
Moenie laat ek begin nie. Moenie laat ek met Barcelona begin nie.
Hey, los my Spanish.
Ja, ek sê jou net. Ja.
All right, guys. I think that's the show for this morning.
Kom jy altyd vir ons vra?
Vir die naweek.
Ja.
Nee man, ek wil bietjie die ouens gaan kuier in die tronk die naweek. So ek ken nie of hulle sal toelaat laat ons kan ingaan nie, because they have not allowed us to take this guy's food in a long time.
So are these guys getting are they still getting food from outside?
Those things were stopped. I don't know when they will allow it again.
Because of COVID-19.
So die manne moet nou beef blik goed eet.
Yeah.
But
Does it was gehoor that's a tax shop in
who runs the tax shop?
I don't know.
James, come on, taxa runs the tax shop.
Nee man. Nee, is lekker nee. Is lekker if it's not your turn to feel the brunt of society. Lag julle lekker, julle se dag sal kom. Guys, enjoy your weekend.
Anyway, enjoy your weekend, guys.
Enjoy the weekend. We'll see you
Stay
again on
safe,
Monday.
You know, social distance, wear your mask, blah, blah, blah. You guys know the shebang.
Yep, and just, I guess, a parting shot. We're currently standing at 615 confirmed cases, 25 recoveries. Still 0 deaths on the COVID-19 front.
But it seems like the recoveries are very low. 25
Yeah.
at the moment.
Maria, why are you you're gonna make me Okay, guys, we're out of
You
here.
guys just be serious.
Catch Hannes and Tata now on his 12 to 1 on Informanté Radio. And that is the page you go to for competitions because there's always something running, right? If you want to walk away with something nice for the weekend, go check that out. We out.
Peace out.
Every day we bring you the hottest music. The ultimate music some outrageous conversations.
I know a few alleged drug dealers.
This is not a drug conversation.
And I'm not.
This was.
No, but this is no drug slender will be accepted.
You will not come play snitch here on the show. Disclaimer, I don't know anything about drugs. I don't know any drug dealers.
I know.
I just want to talk about witchcraft.
Let's get to the real thing. The mornings on Informanté Radio. The sound for a new age.
We're good to go.